Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Really appreciate you guys listening. If you'd like to give back to the show in any way, there's many things you can do. Please follow the show at Battle Resume on Twitter. Keep up to date with all the upcoming episodes, all that good stuff, all the news. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, leave us a review on iTunes, comment on the YouTube, like YouTube. Go back through the archive, just lots and lots of videos on there, lots of compilations and Battle Rap Resume episodes to check out. Please also go onto patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume if you'd like to put some money back into the show. We of course offer a lot of rewards on there. The first tier being you get access to an exclusive Patreon show called Resume Review and lots of previews and extra stuff, you know. And if you want to go a little bit more, donate a little bit more money, you can get access to exclusive Battle Rap Resume episodes months before they come out. So check that out there. That's changing all the time. So go on to patreon.com/Battle Resume, see what we're offering at the time. You can also go on to redbubble.com, pick up a t-shirt, a mouse mat, a sticker, anything Battle Resume affiliated. But I'm really excited to get into today's guest. And this is someone who, is very quickly rising up the ranks, has been battling for just over a year and he is making his mark in more than one way. It's Lazy Arse Jack. How's it going, man?
Yeah, man, really good. How are you?
I'm really well, man. I'm really well, and I spotted you when I was watching a few videos. Well, I say I spotted you. You'd actually told me you're in the crowd, so that made it seem like I was really eagle-eyed, slightly misleading. But you had said that you had been to Sunburn, and I think I was watching, maybe it was Tony versus Gemini or something like that, and I spotted you in the crowd, sort of thing, and it was great to see you there. Was that your first taste of battle rap live? Was that when you were getting into it? Were you into it before, or?
No, so I was actually into it for a bit before then, and I had been to one other event live before then. I went to it was like a sort of Rapping It Park, Rapping It Bar. I can't remember what it was, but it was where Shocks tried out.
Oh, you mean, okay, so that was against Smart Alex, is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
You were at Shocks' tryout?
Yeah, I was at Shocks to try out. I took my sister because she had started to sort of get into battle rap a little bit, and she was like, "I want to come see someone." I was like, "Oh, well, hey, it just so happens that I'm going to my first one today. Come with me." And she did, yeah.
All right. What else battles went down then in that event? Can you recall?
Conquer B tried out that day against some guy who was just, I can't remember what his name was, but he was like incredibly whack.
Right.
I can't remember, like that came up on Bad Bars, and then there was another battle. I can't really remember again, like there weren't that many standout tryouts from the day, but there was a Dutch guy, I think, and you can see in one of the, I think it was the first episode of Bad Bars, in that battle, you can see me in the background. And obviously just like a sort of young, I think it was like 16, 17 years old at the time, just like watching this battle, and I just hear some reference to Pulp Fiction, and this bar manages to make it into the first episode of Bad Bars, and I'm just there like screw facing because I'm out in this park and I can hardly hear it.
I just checked on the ever reliable verse tracker. It was Mr. Inglorious that Conquer B tried out against. So yeah. I have no recollection of that battle. I'm gonna have to check that out and see if I can spot your sister as well. Is she into his battle rap as much as you are now? I'm guessing not. Or?
No, not really. She sort of she watches my battles, and for a while she sort of had a brief period of watching it a little bit, but she never really,
Yeah, it either sort of grabs you or it doesn't, does it? It's kind of Barmite, as it were, sort of thing. You either love it or hate it. I don't know if it's good or bad, but. I mean, before we get into your battles as well, like, I know, obviously, we sort of know each other a little bit. We're both Oxfordians, you in the definitely more official sense. And I remember you saying that you've been rapping quite a lot. You were rapping at school with Mafro, is that right?
Yeah. Mafro and I have known each other since we were like 11, so like, just coming up to 10 years. And we weren't really like particularly tight friends until we were about 16, and we got sat next to each other in class, realized that both of us were into rap and stuff, and he'd been watching, like, I can't, it was either like Grind Time or Jump Off Battles, Jump Off Battles, and he was all about sort of, freestyle stuff, and I'd been watching Don't Flop for a little while, and I was like, no, man, the pre-written shit. But we ended up like just doing a lot of battles like at the back of class and like out in at lunchtime and stuff like that, but yeah, he started releasing music, and I didn't really, so I sort of got the knowledge that I rapped came about later than it did for him.
And And I should say as well, for those listening, Mafro, has tried out in Don't Flop as well. Next in line, where you battled A, he battled Artifact, and did really well, and hopefully he's going to come back into the fold as well in that sense. So, I mean, so it's quite a while then from you sort of knowing about Don't Flop to actually getting on board. Well, I say getting on board in battle rap. Obviously, you started off in KOTR. You're still sort of affiliated with that. How did you kind of learn? How did you apply? How was the first? We're getting into sort of tryout here with odds on KOTR. How did that come about?
So that basically came about. I went to university, and like on pretty much the first day, I met Bear Solutions.
Yeah, right.
Because he was looking at it must have been the 7th birthday flyer on his phone.
Oh, right.
And I just sort of saw him looking at it. I was like, "Oh shit, you watch battles?" And he was like, "I battle," and because he started a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and so he says, like, do you want me to get you a battle? Do you want to try your hand at it? And because I'd been rapping on beats since I was like 16, I was 19 at this point. 3 years. Mm-hmm. I sort of felt fairly confident. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, give me a battle," and. It went pretty well.
Yeah, it went really well. I mean, this is against odds here. This is in the Good Ship, is that right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
which is just the sort of the classic KOTR venue.
It is the KOTR spiritual home, without a doubt. Yeah.
I've never actually been there myself. I've been to a few KOTR events, but never done one proper. I think when I battled Murta, it was in Acton, so it was a slightly. I don't know if they go back there, but so we get into this battle with odds. Mickey rocking the O'Shea took a shit on a shark shirt.
Yes, as he likes to do.
Which is just a great bit of merchandise, because what I love about battle rap shirts are they're so limited in terms of their production, so if you've got one, it's just a sort of cool thing to see. It's cool. I've always craved, I don't know why, like a 4th birthday staff shirt. I love that that green and white color. I think it looks really good.
Man, the whole 4th birthday was so sick. I wish they brought back because they sort of had. It was like those old introductions they used to do on the 2010 to 2012 videos, and earlier obviously, but that was sort of when I was coming into, so it's what I associated with. But then 4th birthday, they sort of did an updated version of that, with sick graphics. Yeah. It looked like really, but you still had the music from the battler or whatever it was. I really liked it, man. I wish they'd bring that stuff back.
Yeah. And at the bottom of the screen, it'd say what song was playing, and you would often have shotty music. I think VIG by Kruger was used as well, and I mean, for me, the 4th birthday thing, it's synonymous with that Arsenal song, that sort of gibberish. Mali has a part of me and a whole lot of shotty, that's the one that don't forget about that. I think it's MDMA song or whatever. I don't really know what it is, but shout out to Arsenal and Shy there. This is the first battle of the day.
Because if we're honest, my writing's good though. Your writing just a footnote. You came to stamp me out, leave with your fucking foot broke. Because I know I've got this posh voice and charming face, but trust me, that's just a mask I made to masquerade the part I'll play in your last disgrace. I'm past it, mate. A basket case. You want to know what it would look like if the Spartan race was sparking Jade? Well, then come spar with Jade.
Mickey is sort of bigging up the Good Ship. He says that, you can come here and get a chilled drink like in France and shit.
Yeah, you want a good beer like in France and that. I remember stood there and I was really hungover the day I did this tryout. And I just was like, Jesus Christ, is this what my battling career is going to be? There's an edit as well as he's introducing, and it cuts, and then he says, "Nah, we're going to edit that out." What had happened? Do you remember what he said? Oh God, he just went off on one. Right. I can't remember exactly what it was, but. I remember exactly what he said. He was like, I can't remember if it was in the video, but I think he was like, one of them is going to be shit and stick with us, and the other one is going to fuck off to Don't Flop. And then I can't remember if that actually stayed in the edit, but I think that was what spanned it. It kind of spanned into a big sort of long discussion / rant. And then we get the nah, we're going to edit that bit out.
Yeah. And you're not, you are still in the nascency of your battle career. You're still kind of finding identity to a certain extent in terms of writing and physically, I guess, as well, because you're not rocking the usual specs that you tend to pimp out. You got the turtleneck on. Was there any forethought in this, or I guess you say you were hungover, so it was a last minute, or?
Yeah, no, I hadn't even been home. I had been somewhere the night before, so I just had like my warm clothes on and stuff like that. As far as the glasses go, I just hadn't been prescribed them at that point in my life.
Oh, okay. Well, that clears that up, literally, and your writing style as well. Like, you know, coming from the background where you hadn't done a battle before, I'm guessing it was obviously more regimented later on. But how are you approaching this?
Just like, I don't know, I didn't know that much about him, you know.
Yeah.
I listened to a bit of his music and I'd had a few like message exchanges with him. But on the whole, I was just sort of like, you know, just find an angle that you can just like put lots of punchlines into. Because I knew if I couldn't be super direct, the thing to do was just show that I could rap better than him. I had like, you know, this was still a stage where I sort of thought I was going to be the next Unanimous or something. Right.
Well, so, I mean, you know, it's a fucking good tryout, man, to be fair. Like, you know, you begin, you know, fuck a body bag, each leg in a separate parcel. Your writing next to mine looks like a postscript scribbled on a postscript.
Postscript scribbled on a post-it.
Post-it, sorry. Yeah, nice. I mean, quite strong.
It's not bad. I mean, when I watch this battle back now, I like, you know, kind of cringe up a little bit because, you know, it's that kind of punch which just relies on sort of you know, it's not like wordplay in itself. It's just, that kind of sounds a bit similar. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, that is the kind of, you know, I mean, that is the bread and butter of a lot of battlers. Like, I just had a man like Dave on. We did our second episode of Battle Tapes. We're going through 10,000 hours, and you know, incredible piece of work that is.
Amazing.
Yeah, an amazing release, and that is a kind of C major way of writing. He really likes to do that sort of stuff, and it can be very effective. And
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just lost you for a second. Back.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. No worries. And you play into the obvious stereotypes that can be heralded at you. You know what I mean? As we say, you are an Oxford student, you know, and that sort of stuff. No, I got this posh voice and charming face, but trust me, that's just a mask I made for this masquerade. The part I'll play in your last disgrace. I mean, the last line's a little bit arch for me, like in your last disgrace, but. But people love it, and masquerade again, it is similar to, you know, postscript, post-it sort of thing, but people love it. Mickey is beaming. People are clearly like, this is a bit different.
I could tell as soon as I turned up on the day, they thought I was going to be shit. I could tell. So I think they were just like really pleasantly surprised that I could actually rap, you know, rather than just be like a bumbling mess.
And you know, when you study history in school, you're always taught the importance of, you know, primary sources. What can you rely on? Diary entries, letters, etc. And when you're doing the archive of battles, it's the YouTube comments, and it's seeing what people said at the time, what people are saying now. And I love this interaction in the comments of this battle.
Oh shit!
Where you know exactly what I'm talking about. Where Ben Risker is his name, and he says in the comments, "Jake Solomon, it's Ben from primary school, keeping it." Keeping it real, I see. You weren't too shabby for a tryout, mate. And you reply, fucking hell, Ben, mate. Yeah, I know. I didn't never see this happening, especially not when we were kids. And then you say, if you're in London, come to the event on Saturday. That's a really nice little back and forth.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that. I haven't seen that guy in like so long. And it was so weird to see him just like commenting in there. It caught me so off guard, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That is mad. And odds. I mean, you know, he sort of flounders a little bit here. Talks of you being half a neek. You know, just kind of, you know, doggy paddling, isn't it, compared to your round?
Well, a little bit. Like I don't think he quite grasped what was required of him. You know. But also there was just obviously an element of lack of preparation on his part.
Well, I mean, you speak of the lack of prep, but in your second you talk of him like inboxing you and saying if you wanted to meet up.
Yeah, it was weird. He like it was pretty soon after we got it confirmed. He was like, "Oh, I guess we should like meet up or something," and I was like, no.
Well, you say like, you know, it's not a dating agency, you know. And we get something that comes up in a few battles of yours, less so definitely, but happens from time to time, happens to everyone from time to time. A little bit of a stumble.
Man, no, let's be honest, I choke all the time. Let's be honest. Like, I call myself Lazy Arse Jack for a reason, because I'm fucking lazy, and I really hate, I enjoy writing it, I enjoy performing it, I fucking hate rehearsing, man. I hate rehearsing. Yeah.
And I remember us speaking quite a few weeks ago, and you were just talking about how you write your punches and stuff, and you said something that always stuck with me actually since. I don't know because this battle's going to come out quite a way in the future, so I don't know what happened with Soliloquy versus Briggsy, I should say, for people listening in the future, but at the moment it looks like we're going to battle, and I have been writing quite a few bars actually that really enjoying it. And I've always remembered what you said. You just spoke about kind of having something that you build backwards from the punch, so you have sort of the punch line to begin with. So in this case, for instance, Nuremberg defense is the punch, and then you're like, they told me to kill you and I'm just following orders, which is hard as fuck. Like, I love that bar, really, really great bar. And
thank you, man.
Was that kind of, it kind of encapsulates a lot of your stuff, isn't it? You kind of reference, we're going to get onto Tony D's incredible reaction to your Immanuel Kant steeple bar.
Yeah.
It's for want of a better word, it's soul-esque, isn't it, in kind of the variety of stuff that you call upon?
Well, yeah, but people say this to me, and they sort of, I get accused of biting soul quite a lot. But the thing is that I just write punches about stuff that I know about, stuff that's in my reference. And I think my frame of reference is different to a fair number of battlers. But I don't know. It's one thing I would say is there have been like quite a few times where I've had punches written, and then I've heard soul drop them in battles later. So there is definitely some kind of like overlap in sort of our areas of interest, and naturally we're going like here against Quill, he had that Crimea River, like the Russian naval fleet. I have that written down in my notepad, almost word for word. And when he dropped it, it pissed me off greatly because I was really happy with it. But yeah, you just got to you just draw on what you know. I think that's the main thing.
Completely. And odds in his second a little bit better. He says that he bets that you go hard in the debate team. You concur, basically. You agree. You say.
Man, I did. I banged out debating in school. Or like 2 competitions and shit.
Right. What do you remember? Like what topics you were great at? What was the final? What did you have to debate?
So it was kind of crazy. We ended up like I don't know why the US debate squad had entered teams into a school's debating competition that they had. And anyway, we got to the semi-final with them, and it was something about like the glass ceiling, and it was about it was about like quotas for women in the workforce and things like that. And anyway, there were 5 judges, and we lost 4-1 to them, but that was in the semi-finals, so we were pretty proud of that. But
yeah. Look, you lost 4-1 to A, but I think you won, so you can't really judge these decisions, can you?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to be honest, like the debate, like doing a lot of debating at school has influenced the way I battle so much. I think it would be silly to pretend not to, and that's probably the nerdiest thing I'm ever going to say. But
well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We're only 20 minutes in, but yeah, you talk about in your second here, in your third, I should say. He's been doing music a long time, 2 years apparently, and this is sort of the best that he can do. Get around to you, and you end again. So we had something from the Nuremberg defense, something a little bit more kind of relatable, perhaps. Johnny English bars. This was actually one where I didn't work backwards. Right. I started with the bit about him not knowing what he's talking about, trying to do conscious music but not being clever enough to make it meaningful was the basic angle, and I just needed a punchline for it, and I realized that I can't remember what I was rhyming it with, but I remember that Canterbury worked, and just a sort of the word came first and then the ideas followed. So that was one where I actually wasn't working backwards necessarily. Yeah. And you take the win quite cleanly. Mickey congratulates you. You're the pagan. You're the one that's going to go off the don't flop. He sort of has that seer's eye for that sort of thing. But I always say this, but I'm sure it must have been great. You win your first battle. It must have felt awesome.
Yeah, man, it felt really, really good. Especially, like, I don't know, because it was a very convincing win as well. But, you know, people were coming up to me saying, like, oh, you know, you smashed it, but in fairness, it wasn't the toughest competition. And I was like, well, it was really good because I got so hyped coming out of that because I felt like, okay, because it wasn't a tough battle, I really just want to get on to the next one to show people I can do this against someone, you know, who puts up more of a fight.
So in this second battle that we're going to get onto, where, you know, you do definitely prove yourself, it is definitely much more of a challenge against Bear Solutions. In this battle, you mentioned that Bear, I mean, okay, you might have been sort of describing this a little bit more for effect, that Bear was jealous of you because everyone was coming up to you and saying how brilliant your tryout. Like, I'm guessing the latter bit was true, though. Were you getting a lot of respect afterwards, after the disdain earlier?
Yeah. I had, like, after I'd done the tryout, I had, like, what was his fucking name? Was it JJC4? Yeah,
the blunt head victim.
Yeah, that day. That was the day that happened. And he came up to me a bit before he battled, just saying, like, oh, I'm going to be throwing an event at, it was some university union, and he was like, if you want to battle there, like, you know, and I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But obviously he bowed out of battling later that day, so it never happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said it to him, didn't I? I said, like, after my tryout, I showed I wasn't a newcomer to be taken lightly. It got dropped on cam, and suddenly everyone's queuing up to get bodied by me. I was quite happy with that as an opening to a round.
Yeah, very, very strong. And
on a completely unrelated note, this guy smoked half a zoo and started passing out. Next time, if you're feeling faint, just pass it round. We won't judge you. We're past it now. We know you were a pussy since you thought smoking 3 times a week over the summer holidays meant that you were hardened.
Obviously, you and Bear are, you know, very, very close friends, but this was a bit earlier on in the year. Was it easier for you to face him then rather than now, or? Yeah,
I really don't, like, there was a possibility at one point in, like, the top 8 tournament that I was going to have to battle him again, and we said straight up, when Kay, like, hit me up to see if I want to take Lex's place, I said fine, but I'm not, if I get through this, like, these rounds, I'm not battling their solutions unless it's the final. I said that to him straight up, because I just have no desire to battle him again. Like,
And this is the Battle of Oxford, as it's kind of introduced, you versus Bear. Now, most people listening won't know this, but me, yourself, and Bear Solutions did record an actual full BRR resume episode.
We did.
Ages ago, before maybe late 2016 or something like that. And unfortunately, it was one of 4 episodes that I stupidly deleted by accident. I don't know how I did it, but I basically deleted it by accident, so we lost it. And I remember us speaking about this battle, inevitably because both of you were involved, and how it was slightly awkward, because obviously you guys, you know, you want to show your friends, your family, these sort of battles sort of thing, but some quite questionable things said by both Hulk and Mickey about Oxford at the start.
Yeah, we did ask them to edit that out, but they just didn't, you know.
I mean, it starts innocuous enough. The winner of this will be getting a degree. The other one is dropping out early, going on the Don and smoking crack. It's like, okay, that, you know, I can imagine some Dons maybe scoffing at that, but, you know, we can let that slide. And then Hulk kind of going in with the loser's going to get gang raped at rowing club.
Yeah, see, I just don't condone that at all. Like, that's just not.
No.
You know, and you know, it's difficult because they sort of want us to promo these battles.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like, if I share that, and people just be like, why? They sort of think, you know, by me battling there, I'm sort of complicitly giving the thumbs up to that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Which I'm not.
No. And I mean, I don't mean to sound like a Unilad employee here, but the fact that you're both Oxford students in a battle rap league, it has viral slapped all over it. Like, you know.
Yep, this is what Mickey said to us very early on.
Because I think this is actually how I discovered you guys. I was just going through King of the Rons and saw on the description, oh, these are 2 Oxford students, and, you know, I was living in Oxford at the time, and even if I wasn't, I'd just be, oh, crap, this is really cool, you know, sort of thing. So that did definitely draw me in. But I mean, regardless, it's battle rap. It's not going to go viral. It's went viral once or twice in its, you know, however long modern YouTube history. Maybe it'll happen again. Who knows? Briggsy versus Soliloquy. That might be the next viral smash, perhaps. But so get gang raped at rowing club. Mickey then flips it with Rowan club. They're both going to go over there. He concedes. He knows already. Like, you know, he can sort of sense here. And
what I would say about that is that although Mickey claims to have zero recollection of this, before this battle, Sam and I had done a 2-on-2 against Bard and Bombshell.
Right.
And at that event, Mickey said to us, like, look, if you guys want to go, don't flop, it's no hard feelings.
Oh, wow.
I think he has such mixed feelings about it. I don't really know. He clearly doesn't care that much because he gives me nice opponents, but he does also give me shit for it every time I see him.
Right. I mean, he'd rather have that than the other way around, I suppose.
Oh, so. Absolutely, yeah.
And if you have Bear Solutions, obviously, Mickey introduces him as like holding them down through the dark ages into the darker ages. Sam with his trademark wave, he's always got that friendly hello. It's just a winning sort of presence here. And then we have you sort of introduced as one of the tallest human beings that Hulk has ever met. I guess you are quite tall. If anyone's listening who maybe hasn't listened to your battles, that is kind of something that's going to come up, isn't it? So I don't want to like point it out as something like whatever, a fixture, but it does get mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most obvious of my physical features, so it comes up a lot.
And I was just thinking, actually, like I'd love to see like on the Pantheon of like when you get in like it's kind of hard to explain, but like kind of like old say science books of like animals, and you have like a silhouette of a man compared to the silhouette of a dinosaur, and it will show you their like relative height. Like actually, what I'm thinking of is a Pokedex. I remember in like an old. Like the kind of outline, but like I'd love to see a kind of the usual suspects, tallest battle rappers, because you would definitely be there. I know that Calico's really tall. I think Pat Stay's another obvious one.
Pat Stay's like 6'5". He doesn't even count as tall.
Right, so you're way taller than Pat Stay.
I'm like 6'7", 6'8"-ish. I mean, like the 6'7" is a much more scientific reading. That was taken in a hospital. 6'8" is just against my door in the kitchen. Right.
So maybe you are. Who's taller than you in battle rap?
I think P Soldier might be like the same height as. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And suddenly, not just because you're tall, but I kind of want to see you versus P Soldier.
Yeah, man.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, but.
I think it would be hilarious. I think I would have an absolute ball battling P Soldier.
He's a good friend of the show, actually. So I don't know. Maybe he'll hear this. I don't know if he's going to listen to the lazy ass like.
I get the feeling like he might not.
Regardless. So we'll have to comment below if you can think of anyone taller than P Soldier down there. I'm sure there are other ones in that pantheon. But yeah, we'll get onto the bars here. And Bear obviously is gifted with the flips here, and he's touching on a relapse racism incident. That happened earlier that day.
Yeah, that had happened in the battle just before.
Right.
I can't quite remember what happened, but it was something about something was brought up in his battle that he I think like put like some blackface on or something like that. One of those standard battle rap accusations. Yeah. And you pursue the racism angle. Right, naturally. It's the first year of your degree. Why'd you dress like an English teacher? It's one of the accusations he volleys. You're only cool because you're the only dude that I can find in clubs. I'm guessing that's facts? Yeah, very much. I get used like as a human like flag. Like when you see those group of tourists and the tour guide has got one of those little flags they hold above their head. I'm the human version of that. Yeah. In the school play, you were both main characters, Jack and the Beanstalk, which is really nice to almost imagine Luna spitting something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like quite a simple but effective bar here. It's been said to me like quite a few times, both in my life in battles and in YouTube comments now. But Bear was the first person, so I give him props for that. Yeah, of course. We have a sort of et tu brute moment here, cut up by your friend in public, like Julius Caesar. Yeah, nice. Yeah, really nice. He mentions meeting Juan in the cellar, which is obviously a sort of Oxford club. I don't want to kind of, I'm going to put myself in this group here, but Oxford's kind of becoming a little bit of a hub for battle rap. Yourself, Bear, Juan, Soliloquy, there's kind of a Callum Mighty as well. Oh yeah, the guy battled Bear. Oh my God, I went to see that, because it was in Banbury. Not far, yeah. Yeah, it was, oh my God, it was the most depressing event I've ever been to. Every battle was cancelled apart from Bear versus Callum.
And is Jace from Oxford or nearby?
Yeah, he's from Wallingford, which is just outside Oxford.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, between the five of us, the six of us, even if you put Calamite in, then that's quite a group. North, east, south, first Oxford needs to be the next event. I think that'll be really good. Obviously, you and Bear are very pally. Very sweet to see you giving him water at the start of his first.
I'm still annoyed about this. I asked him just because we were down at the stage and the bar is a bit above, and Bear was up there, so I just shouted up to him could you just grab us water? And he just came back with one cup, and I was just oh, this is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? But we were getting into the battle, so I didn't go get another one, so we just ended up sharing it. Right.
Well, I mean, that's nonetheless. And you start off by going in on his style. Anyone can rhyme 2 bars. You have such a kind of quick, direct flow. It's really attacking, whereas I think Bear's a little bit more jovial. Bear can still be quite precise and quite incisive with what he does, but you have that onslaught to you, don't you?
Sometimes. I think I was still trying to get it at this point. I don't think I perfected it by any means at this juncture, because there were points where I should have been finishing, especially in that scheme. I should have finished on I should have finished on a proper punchline. Not just finishing the idea. It's more like I finished the idea than finish on something. I needed to give people an opportunity to react once I'd sort of made use of that flow. So sometimes I feel like it felt like it ran out of steam in places, but.
Yeah, I think if you compare it to maybe your Blunt Ted battle or your A battle, those are a bit more jam-packed with content, with kind of real wow moments. The first is a bit lacking in that to a certain extent here. In the second, Bear is sort of touching on the fact that, your structure's more stretched out than your body. He mentions you were going to battle, we mentioned JJTC. You were meant to battle Jack the Cat, JTC?
Yeah. So I was actually, on 2 occasions I was meant to battle Jack the Cat. After, like I said, I had quite a few people sort of saying that they wanted to battle me after my tryout. JTC was in the group chat for the event saying that after he saw me try out, and I was just like, well, go on then. And then no one ever organised it. But there was a bit of discussion of that at one point. But then again, he was originally the guy I was meant to try out for Don't Flop as well.
Oh, right, okay. You saying you're second that no one gains anything by beating Bear Solutions?
Just because I knew it would piss Sam off.
And apparently Bear Solutions' nickname in school was Hipster Monk.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't actually at school with him. I've only known him since university, but he told me that. So I have every reason to believe it is true. And for the reason that I go on to take the piss out of him for as well.
Yeah. It's quite strong. Bear just keeps flipping. Really, every single round starts with a flip here. And he talks kind of, you go in on his appearance, he goes in on yours. Your hair looks like candy floss that's badly off.
Yeah. This is when I was letting my hair grow out.
Quite luscious, if you don't mind me saying. Actually, it's definitely got a bounce to it. I think your third's maybe your strongest. It's quite explosive in places. What we touched on before, the sort of jealousy that Bear had towards a tryout performance. You also call out Blunt Ted here. Beating Blunt Ted's like being the tallest dwarf.
I don't know. I'd seen his battle versus Bear, and I just thought it was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen. I knew he was going to be at the event, so I was like, fuck it. Because I'd already gone through a list of, because Sam gave a really good performance against Blunt Ted. So I couldn't convincingly be like, oh yeah, Blunt Ted 3-0'd you when he clearly didn't. So I had to find another way to make it ridiculous. Like, okay, you got the win, but does it mean anything? Right,
of course. And, it's obviously Battle Rap is replete with movie bars, movie references. Culture is replete with references to films, of course. But there are quite a few films that crop up again and again and again. I'm thinking Boys in the Hood seems to always come up, Inception, and we get a making this guy regret opening his mouth like American History X.
Yeah, I mean, I like that punch.
Hard. And a lovely embrace from both of you at the close of the battle as well.
Yeah, man, it had been like it had been dominating our conversation for such a long time in the run up to the battle that I think that once it was done, it was just like, oh god, we can go back to
just being mates. Yeah,
exactly. Not having to worry about this.
And you take the win, but Mickey felt that Bear won it.
I mean, he did, didn't he? He won the first and second, and I took the third.
Yeah, I think. But I mean, what are your opinions on the whole KOTR crowd judgment thing?
I think that I don't know. I like judged battles. I'm not a huge fan of promo.
Right.
So for me, it's like a good thing, definitely. But it can often. I think a lot of the time you get the wrong winner through it. But it also means that you have to sort of, take into account a different style of writing. You have to alter your stuff to appeal to the crowd, and I think of KOTR like not like a dojo where I sort of like go to practice. I think of it like an agoge, a Spartan agoge, where they put you through the toughest battle rap conditions. Right. How you come out the other side, and I think that part of that is the crowd reaction decision.
Yeah, it's I just bitterly. I mentioned before I battled Murta, and I lost on the crowd decision because he brought like 10 of his friends there. So it can leeway. I still sound so fucking scorned over that. Like, I should really let it go. Shout out Murta, but it can go either way. But let's get into some good writing, some good battles, rather than that sort of stuff. And mentioned Blunt Ted before. Blunt Ted, who unexpectedly, I love having Blunt Ted on Battle Rap Resume. I must say he's a great guest to have on the show. Not only did we do our own episode, we also talked for the KOTR upcoming. We did a 90-minute preview of a card, which just like, I don't know how it went that long, but it was really, really good. And I've also got another video that might have dropped of Blunt Ted's kind of upcoming Battle League. I hope I haven't given anything away there. Maybe it'll drop in the time that this comes out, who knows. But yeah, shout out Blunt Ted. You're battling Blunt Ted. This is uploaded pretty soon after. I'm guessing it was a classic story of you start battling and suddenly you can't stop.
Yeah, kind of. I just wanted to keep battling. I just wanted to get some momentum going, really, because I hadn't really had a performance that I was really proud of yet, and I was still sort of searching for that,
So fuck what this kill will bring. When I let it flow from the mouth, I know that what I spit saliva than this idiot, so you could have given me anyone, and it's clear that I'd be killing him. But you were prepared to travel because you wanted that work more like illegal immigrants. I'm sorry.
Fuck you, kid, man.
I'm sorry. I just can't help from getting deep with my pen, you see. But that'll be what leaves the kid washed up like Syrian refugee.
Oh, wow.
This is an outdoor event, KOTR throw a lot of these in the summer. Fair to say that this event was marred by roars?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. Any event roars is at, but this one especially.
It just makes it so difficult to focus when you're in the ring, if someone's just like shouting stuff at you. And to be honest, I like roars, and I chat to him at a lot of events.
He's a good
dude. But he's just... I don't know. He's just so hyperactive, man.
Yeah.
And it can be a really disturbing influence on the battles,
It can, and in this one in particular, there's almost a malice to it, where he's just trying to really disturb the battle and kind of go into it. And like, I think for every Raw's kind of misstep, there are some great moments. I think in the Danny Jack Dank Schrader battle, he had some moments. Lest we forget, Gemini's Yoshimitsu punch against Tox is elevated by the way Raw's goes Yoshimitsu, and like he just sort of says it underneath him, and like it's very subtle, but it's definitely there. But yeah, Raw's is there. I mean, this is outdoors. Bear Solutions looking like an absolute G, by the way. Like, god damn.
He was like, I think he was getting really pissed off with the noise the crowd was making the whole way through, so he was looking pretty stoic.
Yeah. But he had his glasses on, he had the sort of the bear shirt on and stuff like that. I think I spot Mafro in the back there.
Oh yeah, Mafro's there.
And a mutual friend of ours, Tom, as well, seems to be there.
Yeah, Tom Dowley was there.
Tom Dowley, yeah. So it was quite good actually, because obviously I met that guy subsequently after watching his battle, and when I rewatched, I was like, oh shit, there's Tom. Like, that's cool. Like, that he was there.
You guys actually met at the next, because this was the Future Pagans event. You guys actually met at the second one, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yeah, that event where there weren't really any battles at that event. There was like 2.
It was like getting drunk in a park.
Essentially. And Amif Bassi was recording interviews occasionally, sort of around. But so we we get into this battle with Blunt Ted, and Blunt Ted, up to this point, did he have, because like obviously he hadn't been battling a bit longer than you at this point, did he have that sort of, that sense of the life ruiner about him at this point, or?
No, man, like he gassed himself up on that so much. Like I was so not worried going into this battle, like because like I don't know, unless someone's like, I don't know, framed me for being a paedophile, like his, you know, then he can't do his CY battle.
Yeah,
he had it one. It was gifted to him once, and he sort of tried to turn it into an identity, but there's not really any weight to it, and that's proven, I think, in his second round, where he tries to like expose me by being like, "Oh, you got involved in the open mic at the Don't Flop Oxford event," and I was like, "Yeah, it's not exposure, mate. I shared it on my fucking Facebook."
Yeah. Self-exposure. Yeah, I don't know what he's getting at. And. You know, you said you wanted a battle, like, he's your punching bag, essentially. You needed someone you knew you could beat, is what you speak of. You only watched his battle with Bear because Bear's your friend. And we get, you know, I mentioned earlier, we get a lot of sort of, you know, American History X bars. We always get a lot of Tetris bars in battle rap. We always get a lot of I'll make your block disappear. Like Tetris, but quite an original take on this Tetris bar, where you're sort of like, I'm sort of paraphrasing here, but it's like, you don't know how long you'll make it in the game, but never make it to the top, like Tetris.
I mean, I did like 4 Tetris bars in a row. One of them was going to be good.
Which I mean, Tetra, that's why it's called Tetris, isn't it? Because of the 4, so I guess that kind of plays into it.
I mean, I did not think of that at the time, but absolutely.
You know, with Blunt Ted, I should say I am a fan of his style. Like, you know, you don't have to be a B-dot to you know what I mean? Like, you know, he does well in this thing. You know, Lanky Streak of Piss gets a laugh.
But again, like, you don't. It's kind of funny just to sort of just say those things, but the thing that annoys me is that's not even inventive. You know, I've been called the Lanky Streak of Piss by anyone I've ever argued with.
In debate team.
The
Americans.
That heated, those bloody Yanks. I mean, I don't think they know what a lanky streak of piss is.
No. Yankee streak of piss, maybe, but you look like the retarded cousin of Peter Crouch.
Of course.
He sort of says you have to buy all your clothes from Long Tall Sally. Like, isn't that kind of a fictional song title? I don't. You know.
I get what he's trying to say, but
yeah. And you know, Blunt Ted is the exposure king. You mentioned the sort of the battle against CY, which in my eyes is a piece of art.
Like it's a masterpiece.
It's incredible. Like, everyone needs to watch it. It's unbelievable, that third round. I mean, it doesn't really expose it, but I don't know if you've seen Inverse Metaphor on Clash Money, where he just he kind of nastily reveals a guy's like mother's died and like has this horrible image of her being naked found and stuff. That's not really exposure, but it's still kind of him being quite far. He does his best here. He did mention the Oxford Open Mic. He also mentions you and Bear making a pact not to fuck your best friend Lottie.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I took the piss out of Bear for, so it's just one of those things where he's just used the angle on the wrong person. Again, it's not really exposure if I brought it up myself, you know?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, just lots and lots of great writing in your second. You kind of, you know, you talk about his approaches, how he needs to change them. On this matter, you need to adjust your stance, like landing a hard flip.
Oh yeah, that was fucking sick. Sorry, that like if you watch skating, like, I'm a terrible skater.
Right.
I've pretty much given up on that now because I just can't. I'm too tall. I can't keep my balance properly.
Yeah.
But if you watch skating and you've seen someone like kicking a hard flip, like, you know, you know that's a nice bar. Yeah.
On that Rodney Mullen tip. Definitely. Just lots of stuff that you write where I'm just like almost. I can imagine a spoken word poet saying this and it hitting hard, clutching at the same straws that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I was really happy with that bar, man. Like, I like finding those sort of like the 4 bars. Those are the ones that really satisfy me.
No, I agree, and I love you kind of break down what a multi is in this second round and sort of explain it to Blunt. Like, what is for you, as someone who does it so well, what is the joy of a multi in battle rap?
It is exactly what I say to him. The joy of a multi-hymn battle rap is that the more syllables you rhyme, the less words are at your disposal, and so the more accurate, so the greater the restrictions you impose on yourself, the more impressive it is when you can effectively articulate yourself. And that's why when you find those really, really relevant multis that just flow together perfectly and just underlie the meaning with this whole new rhythmic energy, it's just a means of elevation, like both in the way that it's outwardly projected by you and in the way that it's received by the audience. I just think it serves as a great, great way to elevate the substance of what you're saying.
Yeah, I couldn't put it better. Flow from the mouth, know what I spit, saliva.
Oh yeah, I'm getting into my writing style there. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I can imagine myself writing that. Like, if I hadn't written that then, I think I would have probably written that somewhere down the line now.
Yeah. I love. Like, again, we're touching on a lot of these kind of, I don't want to say cliches, but like liver puns are quite prevalent. Actually, I was just watching. I don't know if you ever heard of Nun. Who
heard of?
He sort of URL also ran, who they don't really fuck with, and he's coming on to King of the Dark. He's a really good writer, and he actually battled this guy called D Flames, and he just said, "I'll put flames underground if you don't act lava." No, he said act lava. He sort of does a lava flip, like.
It depends on the accent, really, doesn't it?
It does. It kind of has that drawl, which kind of gives it that thing, and like spit saliva, like even the way you sort of, you know what I mean? It has this plosive nature to it, though, that I really, really like. I mean, just bar after bar here, kid washed up like Syrian refugees.
I thought that was like the best bar I'd thought of at that point in my career.
On that front page, Steez, like that's heavy. Stretch, I'll see red, like the Doppler effect.
Yeah, man, that whole physics scheme like pissed a lot of people off. You know, I got a lot because at the end I said, like, no, I appreciate not many people are going to get that, and then someone at the back shouted, "Oh, you're calling us dumb," and I was like, no, but it was kind of proven in the fact that nobody reacted, because those are, I think, good punches.
Yeah, really good punches. Look like you're on speed. Why you'll never go a distance over time.
Yeah. It was one of. Well, it was one of those things where I was sat there, I was talking to Bear, and I was thinking about doing like a distance over time punch at the end there, but it just kind of, because I had to change the rhyme scheme to get it. I was like, I don't know whether or not I should, and he was like, no, just put it in, and so I did, and you can see he's like, I think he smiles when I drop it, because he's proud of his guidance.
I really love Blunt Ed, man. Like, when I watch you battle, he does bring me this odd joy, and I love the fact that he goes for this angle that's a really weird angle, and it's wrong. He notices that everyone you've battled so far begins with B.
My battle
yeah, exactly. Apart from your first battle, that you point out to him straight away, like Blunt, Bear, Bombshell. All these kind of, I mean, let's just touch on Bombshell, because that hasn't been uploaded. You did the doubles battle against Bombshell, is that right?
But yeah, it was us versus Bard and Bombshell, and actually one round of their stuff and all three of our rounds are on YouTube if you look it up.
Oh, okay. That's cool. And just under sort of Lazy Arse Jack, Bard, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's on Sam's YouTube channel, because my friend Zach came to watch, and he just recorded as much of it as he could on his phone. Oh, and when they lost the footage, I just messaged Mickey being like, I know that, could we upload that? And he's like, not if it's not a full battle. And he said, but you're more than welcome to upload it to your personal stuff. So,
well, yeah. I mean, that's good. That's good. It's still up there for the prosperity there. And Blunt Ted, always with the original images. Your hands always shake like the hands of a clock in San Francisco.
Yeah, is he referring to like earthquakes?
I mean, it must be. I like the sort of obliqueness of it, but I don't really it doesn't really make sense. A touches on this as well, supposedly the name of your father, Blunt saying, how the fuck can I be scared of a guy whose dad's name is Tarquin?
Yeah, my dad's not called Tarquin.
Gabe, you correct him,
exactly,
is that right?
Yeah.
Which someone in the crowd said, even worse. Your dad, this is Blunt Ted again with that inside information, was too busy banging your nanny, and he left you with the butler. Your third as well is fantastic. You touch on the fact posh boys shouldn't rap. Then you check my fucking history. I've been taking bitches' heads off like I'm Henry VIII. Someone goes like, Jesus Christ! I don't know if you like. Someone goes mad at that.
Someone really rated it. I don't know who the fuck it was, but actually Omar as well. Like he's not in the country anymore, but like I met up with him in Edinburgh as well, and
nice.
But he rated that punch a lot. He came up to me afterwards and was like saying that he really liked that.
Like, I don't know if it'd be possible, and maybe someone's going to do it now that I've mentioned it, but I always thought it'd be good if someone did a whole scheme of every single Henry VIII wife.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, because you can like, I see more. This is a par. I'll be bowling for head. I'll cleave Anne of Cleves. Like,
you can do like the Cleve one. I've always thought like is waiting to be done.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I've got them up now. He was only married to Anne of Cleves for not even a year. That's mad. Jesus Christ. Shout out Henry VIII, man. Back in the day.
OG pimp.
Holy shit. So yeah, Chiller Jones, if you're listening, just do a fucking Henry VIII scheme, please. That would be hard as fuck, man. Just great stuff here. I mean, Blunt sort of going with the more grown man bars sort of stuff, and I think to a certain extent, not as effective. But another good performance from you, another win, 3 in a row.
Yeah, man. Well, I won like my first sort of 6 or 7 battles. I didn't. My first loss was to A. So
right. Holy shit. That is good work. And on Verse Tracker, the next battle is against Orwin. But in real life, in kind of the actual, the time space continuum, as it were, you went against Frosty Jacked.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. I went he called me out. He called me out he called me out in the winter, and then like 6 months later we battled. And so I've been sort of like sitting and brewing on material for him for so long, and he even as you can see, it was sort of like trying to psych me out, because he was like, let's put some money on it, and I was like, well, I don't really gamble at all, but I'll do like a tenner or whatever it was.
Right.
I hate your performance. It's like a shit game show. No stage presence to gift them, and you think that you get away with it because it's part of our posh boy gimmick. But it pisses me off seeing you frame yourself in this way, trying and stay safe by hiding behind an image, because you're playing up to the stereotype that prevents me from trying something different.
I mean, Frosty Jack to me is a bit of a mystery and anomaly in battle rap. Had Cannell on the show quite a while ago now. Obviously, a great friend of the show, great battler, Cannell, and they battled. It was both of their debuts, and Frosty beats Cannell, and he has an amazing performance in that battle. He has flips, he has persona, they go to the OT, he's versatile, really impressive stuff. And then everything else I've seen him in, it's just, I don't know, he's almost like a one-hit wonder. I don't mean to be harsh, because I'm a fan of him, but you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, man, like, I don't know, he just needs to... I don't know, he just needs to understand that there's not that much skill in just listing multis forever. Yeah. That's his basic weakness. If he could condense his shit down, his performance against Cannell was good. He had he did do a tryout for Don't Flop, and he performed quite well on that. Okay. He's quite funny, but yeah, he sort of had a couple of like good showings, but on the whole, he's sort of like never quite got going, Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's still time out there, and I'll always say one of the most handsome battlers out there. Definitely got a sort of 1940s movie star swag going for him. And we kick off. Bobby Davro is bigged up. Bobby Davro had like a KOTR affiliation for a bit. Is that right?
No, I mean, like, yes, but no. Mickey put on one of the Manchester cards that Bobby Davro was going to be co-hosting it, which was just obviously, just Mickey chatting shit. And then like at the event was like, oh, he was meant to be here. And so yeah, Bobby Davro sort of holds a bit of sort of just the name in itself amongst KOTR fans and battlers.
Right.
It's significant.
And we get an insider look into the economics of the modern battle rap league here, where Mickey admits that they are £60 off the bar total, and to not make this a waste of time, everyone please buy a drink, which I like. It's quite candid that they left that in there. It does get to the nuts and bolts of the matter here, and another cult figure in the battle rap scene, Arse, is cut to because she's made some cake, which is really, really cool, really, really sweet. This is the poshest battle ever. People are stating here. Frosty says that he has red trousers on. The camera pans down and he doesn't. Bit of a disappointment. But, I mean,
I don't know why he did that. And I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I know that look of like the sort of old, sort of sun-beaten man, with the expensive sunglasses and the weird chinos. But why say that you're wearing them when everyone can see it?
And he kicks off, your battle with Bear Solutions were like the US election, the less of two evils. Quite a funny kind of your mom gave birth and delivered the stork.
Oh yeah, I quite like that. That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, that was quite funny. He does get quite wordy, like you were saying, and he does still have some stuff here. Spit flames like my gob lit a fire.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I see what he's trying.
Yeah. I mean, he had a similar sort of idea against Cannell actually, because Cannell, I think his DJ was DJ Kolak or Kolak or whatever, and he said like, that's why you can't spit fire because there's a coal lack.
Yes. That's cool. That's cool.
Not bad. Little beginning from him here, and you kind of talk of sort of there's no real similarity between you if you really get down to it. Obviously good, both posh, both wordy. But when I kill him on this stage, I'll take the title off his name, like referring to Macbeth as a Scottish play.
Yeah, man. I actually thought of that bar when I was like 16, and I like when I was sort of initially getting into battles, and then when I had the opportunity to use it, it sort of like it just like woof, came back up into my head, and I was like, fucking hell, I can do this now.
There are not enough. I mean, Bear Solutions did the whole Julius Caesar thing. There's not enough Shakespeare bars in battle rap.
No. I mean, I had another Shakespeare bar against Blunt Ted. It was something about like it's like Richard III. I scripted the verse so that for you the end of the battle is tragic, like something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a bit more simple, but
not bad though. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm sure. I'm going to have some sort of a heavy Othello scheme against Briggsy for no reason. But yeah, that could be quite interesting. And
you gifted the gab for Othello. You need to talk about that.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I can't think of one on the spot here, but I'm sure. I was trying to do like an Iago punch, but I couldn't think of anything. And you talk about his showing on Poetic Warfare being a disgrace.
It was trash. We'd actually spoken about it in the run up to the battle, and he was like, "You're going to talk about the tracksuits punch," and he did like something about how his opponent always wears tracksuits, and when he passes a joint round, he can't take his eye off it. He tracks zoots, and I was like, Jesus Christ,
kind of Jay Dillon-esque.
Yeah, but it was like I advise you to go watch it, man. It's quite an awkward battle to watch.
Mm-hmm. Shine a light, make frost disappear like the rising sun.
I quite like that as a name flip.
Yeah, and again, he seems obsessed with the election. Focused on it again for the second. Donald Trump genetics. That's the bar. I quite like this. You have that I revise loads but tell my mates I'm fucked for my exams type swag.
Yeah, that was the truest thing. That's the realest thing anyone's ever spat at me in a battle. Like I genuinely rated that so much. That's like the most direct and correct thing that's ever been said to me.
And in your second, you kind of retort, some people don't have to try to get into Oxford. We're just that clever.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to say, I want to clear up here, like, that there are plenty of idiots at Oxford. Is
that right?
But it was just because I knew he wanted to turn it into a university beef thing, and as you see, like, it's throughout the battle, I sort of flipped that on him. But I really liked the flip for that reason. First of all, it was just like, fuck you. You want to, you want to bring up this sort of stuff. Well, you're fighting a losing battle. But then also it sort of made him think that I was going to play along with his whole like university rivalry thing, which I completely don't. So
yeah, I mean, again, this is maybe something that could be. I mean, he's a Durham guy, is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, because you touch it on Doxford. No, Doxbridge. Sorry, Doxbridge. Yeah. Which again, I think you made the right point. That is that kind of died down now? Does that still exist in the academic world or academia? I remember it when I was going to uni about 3 or 4 years ago, but I don't know if it still exists now. But I mean, whatever. I know you're too busy getting fucked on nights out, aren't you, man? And going to new heights to catch a body like Clark Kent.
Yeah. I quite like that. Yeah.
We get a pen ultimate bar.
Oh yeah, I remember you actually between having done this battle and it being released, actually posting a status on the Battle Rap Resume page where you did a penultimate bar as well.
It's a gift, isn't it? I think any sort of pen bar, breaking out the pen, that Gemini, isn't it, against Tox, Michael Schofield, the prison break thing. Loved your breakout performance, but weren't interesting when you went back to the pen, which is that's so fucking hard. I mean, what a battle that is. I love that. I loved what a good performance by Gemini. I should say. Shout out Tox's Geodude scheme. But what are you doing a Geodude scheme against Gemini? I keep bringing this up. I don't know why he did this. You mentioned as well all the way back against Mr. Inglorious with the Pulp Fiction Bad Bars bar. Call me Z. Put this gimp in a box.
Call me Zed, isn't it?
Zed, sorry.
Call me Zed because I put this gimp in a box. Yeah, because like I say, in the scheme before that, I was just going, trying to find some angles on him. Went through his Facebook, found a picture of him in it's like dog leash and leather pants. It's like, right, well, this is getting written about. The second half of the second round kind of wrote itself once I found that.
Yeah. And then he sort of, again, his obsession with maybe slightly needless Maltese. Your mom was under my thunder thighs sucking my cucumber slice. And then you say, slice? and an uproar, like Mickey calls time. It's really funny.
Yeah, Mickey came up to me afterwards and he put it into wrestling terms, which I didn't get, but he said to me, he said he wants battle rap to be like wrestling. That should have been a TKO. I don't know what that means, but it's something like it was done early, or was it boxing? I can't fucking remember. I don't watch these sports, but he was basically saying that he'd been considering for a while bringing in the rule that if you were getting bodied too badly, you'd get mercy rule and just end the battle early. But he clearly hasn't decided to run with that.
Yeah, that is, it's a real kind of uproar when you see it, as I say, people are reacting really heavily to it. Frankie Fraser, is bellowing and all that, and Cadell is rocking with it as well. A long round for you in the third, really seemed that you had a lot to get off your chest here. Yeah,
this was, the first time I sort of thought I really you took a round to make a statement in battling,
Yeah, and, you sort of, you talk about gun bars. You mentioned he did some gun bars. Is that right? Sorry. He pulled out a joint in his Don't Flop tryout, didn't he, to sort of seem a bit more cool?
Yeah, exactly. But I was just sort of you're just begging it, aren't you, mate? But it was that whole thing of sort of just and this is something that I really, really do think it pisses me off. Not in any great way, but so Bear and I always get compared to Shuffle and Marlowe especially amongst the KOTR crowd,
Sure.
But the thing is, it is literally just because we're posh. If you wrote down a Lazy Arse Jack, a Bear Solutions verse, and then a Shuffle T and a Marlowe verse, they're just not really similar at all.
No.
And so I don't know. It's but I really hate the punches which rely on the audience imposing irony onto it to make it entertaining. And I feel actually that's something that Shuffle and Marlowe can actually be guilty of a lot of the time. I think they're amazing and I think they're fantastic battlers, but I think that's their greatest weakness, is the amount that they rely on the audience doing the work for them at points. and I don't want to be part of that tradition of posh battlers who rely on the fact they're posh. I want to be a posh battler who the fact that he's posh is completely irrelevant. That's what I'm aiming for.
But what I love about being a posh battler is that you can reference things, as we said before, that just other people wouldn't go to. Even Shuffle and Marlowe wouldn't claim that they have a William Wordsworth pen game.
Yeah.
Talk that wandered lonely as a cloud shit. Just really.
I should have said just a prelude to my career.
Yeah, exactly. No lyrical ballad collar and shit. Again, I'm just trying to think I remember on our earlier episode, I was pimping out the bars. I think we mentioned, and I'm purely saying this for prosperity, but I think we mentioned if I was battling Bear Solutions in London, I would say if Samuel peeps, I'll bring that great fire to London.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
I can never use that, if only Briggs's name was Samuel, but it's not. So the first time we met, you mentioned it before, was at the Future of the Pagans thing, met properly. I think I remember seeing you at Rapping It Jack, actually, and sort of recognise you from afar, but the first time we properly spoke was at Pagans, and as any battler does, you speak to them for 5 minutes, they say, do you want to hear him around for the next battle? And obviously I do, I love listening to this sort of stuff. I listened to many people's rounds up until this point, and yours was no different. I really wanted to hear it, and you had said as well, I'm going on Don't Flop, which I was really excited about as well. And you're facing Orwin.
I've heard all your wordplay before, so step back. Any punch he throws that lands behind the times like jet lag. Get your head wrapped like Islamic women. Yeah? You genuinely said that. But you're the millionth person to pen that. That bar is more like homosexuality in Saudi Arabia. That sentence is dead, man.
How did this get arranged that you were going to get onto what was the Sunburn Free pre-party?
So I was meant to battle JTC, but after the dank JB battle, JTC decided to stop battling because of the angles that got brought up in that. At least that's my understanding of it. But anyway, so that got cancelled, and that was the first time I'd really been cancelled. And so I actually kind of kicked off in the group chat. I was just because I was so hyped for this battle that I was pretty much, as you saw on the day, I'd pretty much already had my shit locked a long way out. I really wanted to smash the performance. I had some really good writing for it, and it was just annoying to have it taken away. But obviously now I'm just so used to having people cancel.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? Really, I mean, we're going to get to your battle with Sherpa, and he's been one of the worst victims, sadly, of that, and kind of showed a great resolve. Finally, you're here. A long time after watching Shocks versus Smart Alex, turn S&M into an R Alex, as it were, fucking astonishing bar. You're battling now in Fiddlers for Don't Flop. Dream come true?
It was kind of, because Don't Flop was the league that I started watching, so, and it was that sort of thing where I'd always sort of spoken about it as a, imagine if, and then suddenly it becomes a reality. You're like, oh, holy fuck, don't mess it up.
And here we are, Mr. K, the marijuana ambassador. Intro here is straight out of KOTR, notorious BFG. Quite a big intro, quite a powerful intro, definitely playing to the camera, using your presence. Straight out of Wakefield is Orwin, who's like a Bobby Rex friend, is that right?
Yeah, he is more Dank Schrader's
Oh, that's right, sorry, yeah.
friend, but Bobby Rex was sort of like the guy that gave him the recommendation to get the tryout, hence the beginning of my first round. And
we have Orwin with a lot of multis for Lazy Arse Jack. He calls you a strangely large twat.
Yep, that's a fair observation.
Yep, and a hell of a lot of arse flips.
Yeah, throughout the whole battle as well. Not even just for a round.
No. Which I've always said that, ironically, there's nothing gayer than pause. And I mean that in a sort of gay as in lame, you know what I mean? I just don't understand homophobia. And I think in battling, any bar saying you're gay for this reason is redundant to me. It's just not effective. So it's not I'm not sort of approaching it it's arse bars, that's lame. It's just the fact that it becomes so monomaniacal, it becomes so set on one thing. Cheap shots. Apparently, you copied Shuffle, is what he says. Today he's going to eat arse without tossing the salad.
Yeah, why did he write that? Like, how did he not look at that and just be like, oh, this is going to run me into a problem here?
Came to smash arse like anal sex.
Again, the same point applies.
Yeah. Put Jack in. I quite like put Jack in a box, but he wouldn't fit.
Yeah, that I rated that. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah. He got his tryout through Bobby Rex. You got yours through Blood and Sweat.
Yeah.
Nice. And we get a great little scheme here to begin with. You say that you basically shouldn't get in a tryout of freestyle, and claim that you leave a streak of red like you made a flush. Don't believe you hold them. You think it's a major bluff. Might have taken a gamble today. He's held all the cards to his chest, but it's time to face up.
Yeah, little poker scheme. Because I think poker schemes have kind of been done to death, but if you can find a way to sort of, squeeze some new wordplay out of it.
Yeah, you could be like, he's had his balls chopped off, he's been spayed.
Nice.
Something like that. Any punch he throws that lands behind the times like jet lag.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I've heard quite a lot of he throw, but behind the times like jet lag is hard.
Oh, you know what, man? I did not do the Heathrow thing intentionally.
Oh, did you not?
No,
Okay.
that's the first time I've clocked that. That was you just saying that now. I did not think of that when I wrote it. It was land behind the time. That was my thing.
No. Take the loot on. I need to stop trying to scheme here, but doing like a UK airport scheme. I mean, I don't know why you would do that, but it's just kind of like taking it to its most logical conclusion. There's sometimes, similarly against A, when you the cataclysm bit, which we're going to get onto, you touch on his cliche bar Orwin where he did the head wrap like Islamic women, and you get your head wrapped like sweatbands. Like, I love you're like an adder cornered in you know what I mean? When your neck spurts out.
Yeah, you got to give that sort of venomous delivery.
Yeah.
That's when people start sort of backing off from you, thinking, "Oh shit, have I stepped out my depth a little bit?"
Yeah,
and especially when it's coming from some tall, posh, gangly guy in glasses. You're like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah. A bar here that I just have to applaud, really. I think I remember recognizing it when you said it, but I definitely loved it when I watched it on cam. You need general practice because your words do no harm, like the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, I really like that. I was watching I helped build the set for a production of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels at one point, and they have a song in that about the Hippocratic Oath. And there's like the chorus goes, "But first, do no harm." And so I was like, "Oh shit, do no harm." You work from there.
It's crazy, crazy, and general practice as well is really, really good. A bit of a dead round from Orwin in the second. I mean, I always got time for Simpson bars, head tops off, Statue of Jebediah, but just not. I mean, just compared to what you would just spit, it wasn't quite as filled.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it.
No.
It was just. It could have done with a bit more energy or a bit more oomph, potentially. You
say, even if he wins today, he's going to be a flash in the pan. You say you got your sights set on Canada by 2020. Don't tell me that I lack vision. Is that true?
Man, I want to get out onto battling overseas as quickly as possible. And like King of the Dot is such a fucking good league, man. They set up incredible battles, man. And they've got such a range of battlers with such nuanced styles. I really rate King of the Dot as like an establishment. It's fantastic.
Look, me and Avocado are mates, man. I can get you a bunker battle. Don't worry about it,
Amazing.
I might not be able to. I probably won't, but
I have like that kind of sway.
Might have to edit that out of the episode. That could be liable. I have no standing. But no, actually, I should say, I don't know if you're aware. Are you aware of Ruin Your Day?
What the YouTube?
Yeah.
thingy?
It's kind of like sort of Avocado's battle rap channel. I actually did a video for Ruin Your Day that should be up by the time this episode goes out there. I did a top 10 bunker battles. So if you listen to this, go check that out. Shout out Ruin Your Day, Clayton, Laugh and Stalk, Weekly Battle, all that good shit. You know, they do incredible stuff. But yeah, why the hell not, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no reason. If Mickey's going out there, then they're looking for other talent. I think you could kill it over there. I think, you know, you would put Ellipsis in a box, like.
I mean, like, if anybody from like the KOTT staff is listening, I will like battle on any card that you want to put me on against pretty much anyone. Yeah. Almost just to be able to say that I've done it. It's kind of like a bucket list thing, you know.
Oh my god, it would be incredible. And like, I mean, people have called me out now because I always mention this guy in every episode. But Dago Davalo,
man, I want to battle Dago Davalo so much. He is so sick, man.
Isn't he?
Yeah. Oh man. If literally, I don't know if at the moment in my career, if I could battle any international opponent, I would battle him. But the crazy thing is, I used to live in Connecticut. Like, you know.
No way.
And he's from Connecticut. He's from New Haven, which is like half an hour away from where I used to live.
Oh shit, that's mad. That's mad.
So like, I'm thinking, I don't know, I might try and like hit up I battles, you know.
Oh my god, because I don't know if you saw actually, but he's actually got a tryout on King of the Dark coming up.
Has he?
Yeah, he has. He's on the GZ card. He's battling Luke Nukem, who's not bad. He battled Laughenstock, but I mean, anyone listen to this, I mean, check out the episode that I did with Dago Davalo. He is the most slept on puncher in the entirety of battle rap right now. Like he's got. I think you have more views than him. I mean, no offense, but you know what I mean. No. Like he is an astonishing. Oh, you guys battling hours. Well, that would be fucking great. But yeah, shout out Dago Davalo. I mean, his Collie C battle, his Jay Worth battle, his Lev Corso. He's battled so E-City. He's battled so many good people.
Have you seen his new battle on the street?
Yeah, I think that's with E-City. Yeah, the sort of
that was it. Yeah. Great battle, man. Great battle.
Yeah, great quality in the writing here. And I mean, your writing as well. Similarly, stretching angles to round off the image like a fisheye lens.
Yeah, I forgot that one. I like that one. It's one of those ones where it just works, you know. It's sort of one of those ones where I sort of think it kind of almost wrote itself, you know. Yeah.
And you know, we have a go ham like Gohan. And we get your trademark, like, you know, when you used to sort of acknowledge the reception you're getting.
Ryan Morgan hates it so much. Every time I see him, he's like, "You've got to stop."
I mean, and other kind of subtle stuff here. You're softer than plasticine, but act like an odd man.
Oh yeah. I was this final sort of like 8 bars. That is how I wish I could rap every round.
Yeah,
you know, it's when I'm in my full flow, not worrying about people reacting. I'm just getting through the bars. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. But you know, just in that full throttle type.
Yeah. My career been like stop frame animation. Why is that? He's a provide the model for making movements.
Hard. That's
hard. We even get a Templar surfer.
Yeah, man. Templar, I was chatting to him at the King of the Ronalds event on the weekend. Like he sort of fucks with me surprisingly heavily, like because he's only seen me battle live once or twice, and but he was like coming over, like asking to hit my bars before I battled and shit like that, and he was like reacting hard, you know. As so shout out Templar, man.
Yeah, shout out Templar, of course. And again, more arse jokes from Orwin in a second. Clean out arse out like colonic irrigation. You love fags, not the kind that are duty free. Just to clarify. Posh, you ask in the third. So what? This is Don't Flop. Breaking down cultural walls, breaking down cultural barriers like the Berlin Wall. Hard.
That's it, again. It's just, it says exactly what I want to say with a reference. Like, people get gassed off history references.
Yeah,
I've learned.
They really do. Yeah. No, there needs to be a sort of like there needs to be a soul bar that somehow references Gallipoli that would just go off. Like I don't really know how, but you know.
I'll tell you what, leave it in my hands.
Right, let's do that.
I'll have a next performance. I'll drop a Gallipoli bar.
Oh, no, nice. So yeah, Battle Orwin. Was this judged? Was this promo or?
It just literally Danny just forgot to organise a judging panel.
Okay.
So it was promo, yeah. But I like to think it's reasonably clear that I won.
I mean, very, very clear. Orwin's okay, but it's just punch for punch. There's no real matchup here, and we get to the next battle, which is like a low-key classic, I would say. You versus A, an incredibly enjoyable, entertaining battle. It must have been great for you to be on the next in line card.
Yeah, man. Like it was so, like I was the last top 8 battle to get confirmed because of dropouts and stuff like that, and I came in as a replacement for Lex. But Mafro was on that card, and I had actually managed to miss the 100 tickets for next in line, and so I'd been messaging Danny being like, "Yo, look, Mafro is the first battle of the day. I'm willing to pay the £10 if I can just come in and just see him do his first battle. Then I will leave. I won't even watch the rest of the battles." And he's like, "Well, I'll see what I can sort out for you, but I can't confirm anything." And then like a week later I had Kay in my inbox being like, "Yo, Lex has dropped out. Do you want to be on the next in line cards battling A?" And I said like, is there any point? I don't just want to come and get mugged off by A. I haven't had like time to prep, and he's more experienced, blah blah blah. So I said, give me a day. And anyway, I was walking from one part of London to another, and I was sort of like thinking about it on my way there, and I'd bought myself 24 hours, but half an hour later I just messaged him back being like, fuck it, let's go. Okay. That's what I do so much of the time with battles. I get offered them, I'm like, I don't know if I have time, but I always end up saying yes like the day I'm offered them. Yeah, man, I really struggled writing for A. I didn't really have any ideas for about a week, and then I wrote the battle in like a week and a half, and then I had like 2.5 days to commit it all to memory. But the sort of high pressure, I think, brought something out of my writing.
There's a good reason why we will never think you're a bad man, because when you got announced in the top 8, it looked like the start of an elaborate game of Hangman. See this man's gas. This will be a full body hazmat. It'll be a full body hazmat. Skinner's box. Watch me teach some behaviour to this lab rat.
A great battler now in the final of top 8 at the time of recording this versus Yorks. That hasn't gone down yet, but it's going to be an interesting one. A also probably the hardest battler to search on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, very much so.
And I mean, A clearly, what I like about this battle, A clearly relished the stereotype, something new for him to get into. I was there as well. Shout out J-Ferg in the back, very clearly rocking the Battle Rap Resume t-shirt on cam, which is great there. And I remember speaking to you before, and, we were sort of going over the bars and stuff. And I think I pointed out I mentioned Tony D already, but the Emmanuel Kant steeple bar, and we'll get to that. Tony loves that. But, A, going with the quite obvious but nonetheless very funny, oh my god, how fucking similar do we look kind of angle.
Well, yeah, I liked it as well because we both turned up in like a similar coloured jeans and a grey t-shirt, so we were actually like dressed the same. And then him with his sunglasses and me with my specs. Like there was like a strange sort of twisted parallelism.
It's very much a sort of Dorian Gray sort of dynamic going on there. Dorian A, I don't know. So you, and talks about how awkward this is. Trump supporter in southern Georgia, doesn't know whether to say his round or donate £1.
What an amazing part. I love it.
Skinny storybook freak is how he deems you. And I get like something that keeps cropping up in battles. Doesn't matter the league, doesn't matter the era, people love to do endless multis of food.
Yeah. He kept it sort of short enough, but it was been times in battles where I've seen it, and I'm just like, Omar sort of kind of made it work against Luigiana. didn't really make it work against Boski, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of, I remember like having guests on in the past where it's came up and I've sort of, you know, made reference to it, and, you know, the other battles, stuffed crust pizza with different bits of chicken dips, kilo of pick and mix, and, you know, I mean, it's good stuff. Your DNA is part Gandalf, part giraffe.
I quite like it.
What a splice.
Yeah, I know, but it's like also the fact that everybody laughs so much just goes to show you it's like a very abstract but also very quite apt to distribute. Yeah. It's abstract. No,
abstract, nice.
Like, I'm joking. It really nice bar.
And A's take on campus culture in uni, getting raped is known as getting boned by the lads.
Oh yeah. That's just standard procedure. After lectures.
Of course. A seminar. You kick him with the aggression, the fast flow, take a body, liposuction. Hard.
Yeah.
Your standing isn't as high as mine for battle writtens. Can't put up a fight when you're not punching. Pacifism.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't my favourite bar from the battle, you know. No. But it led up to the religion bar, which I thought was one of my best bars in the. Yes.
So you kind of touch on the fact that the A does have that kind of self-obsession. They're talking about how great he is. Saying it over and over again doesn't make it true. That's religion. A loves it as well. Like.
In fact, it goes straight into another one of my favourite bars I've done, because then it goes into the you keep it orthodox, like the Spanish
Inquisition. Yeah, and the thinking different, twisted wisdom as well. The little build up. Since this man's gas, this will be a full body hazmat.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It's mad. Like this round is fire. Like real good. Skinner's box. Watch me teach behaviour to this lab rat.
Yeah, I kind of fucked up the delivery on it a little bit, but on the whole, I was happy with that. The one in this scheme that I really liked, which only Tony really seemed to get at the time, was the
tap dash.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fell off because you lost the fight like tap dash. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Tony. That is all Tony. That sort of thing. Your dad's name. This is A in the second. Is Cuthbert.
Again, we've established.
I love how you say facts as well. Like I love your reaction. It's really funny. You know, A believes that your grandparents called Don't Flop an interracial gathering with rhythmic talking. And kind of quite a subtle line from him that I only got on my most recent watch. Get stomped and thrown in the trunk. That's 2 views of the boot.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. I've always wondered what he was doing there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. I mean, A's one of those people that just, he's brilliant. He kind of has that immediacy to him, but he also has that depth. He sort of has both, and he has a great persona as well. Like I think A, he's the obvious probably winner of the top 8, and arguably shouldn't have really been in the top 8 because he's not, you know what I mean? He was kind of established already, kind of the genre. Like A tried out when I tried out, sort of thing.
Right,
So it's kind of like a little bit of a while back there. You go in your second, you talk of his lack of artistry. You're going for a blue period, but cover all angles like cubism, expose everything nudism.
Yeah, that I like that sort of like, the movement from quite what I think is quite a sort of serious bar, sort of the cubism bar to expose everything nudism. And that's just kind of like kind of jovial. Yeah. I like the juxtaposition between the two of them.
Definitely. Yeah. Compare us, same record, different levels, remastered.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing I've ever written and probably the best thing I'm going to write. I don't think I'm ever going to top that necessarily.
Jay Short loved that bar in the judging.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, isn't it? I think I remember you saying that bar to me actually, and me reacting. That was just before the battle. That is a crazy battle. Like A loves that one. I mean, one of the reasons this battle's so good as well is because you both really respect each other and really enjoy what the other is doing.
Yeah, man, those are the most enjoyable battles usually when it's someone, you know, and I really enjoy watching that in battles, you know, as the respect between the two MCs sort of like builds up throughout the battle as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can start pretty hostile, but you know, if you're standing in front of someone's standing in front of you, and you know, they're dropping fucking fire, you know, you can't help it. You get gas to it along with everyone else.
Definitely, man. And you talk about his he's locked in a freezer bar against evil.
Yeah. Like, I remember watching that and just being like, oh fucking hell, man, like I'm just going to have to like take you by the hand here and walk you through why this was stupid, aren't I?
And you know, A has a great third as well. Sent me to measure your growth. Sent to me to measure your growth.
Yeah, that was unreal, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. Newcastle manager A Pardew.
Yeah, again, just like fucking sick. What was it? Crystal Palace manager's autograph, A Pardew.
A Pardew, sorry, yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course, it was a Crystal Palace manager by that point. Yeah, this gas on every level, like fractional distillation. What? Yeah, that's a soul bar.
Yeah, man. Yeah. When he dropped that, I was just like, oh, fucking hell. I kind of knew I'd lost at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you did lose, but it is a really, really good battle. Like, you know, and majorly underviewed. It's got like 3K or something, which is just criminal. Yeah,
man. I feel like I maybe should go drop that in the forums. You know, see if I can get a little boost on it.
Do you have this as your best performance?
Oh yeah. Apart from maybe it definitely is. I was going to say maybe my Carlton performance last weekend, but actually, I think that's just because it's pretty recent, so I'm still gassed off it.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see that one, man. Yeah, because as you say, that's just gone down really recently. So we get to the next two battles, which are in a certain sense novelty battles, just because of the way they sort of came out. These being Sherpa and Crafty. We'll get to the Sherpa one first, which is it's a 3D battle. I mean, why is it a 3D battle?
Because King of the Ronalds. But you know what? I don't even care, man.
No, I like it.
I'm involved in the first 3D battle. You know, that's like I'm part of battle rap history. No one can ever take that away from me.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sherpa, John Whitmore, you know, good friend of the show, great guy, great advocate for battle rap. Awesome to see you two guys going against each other.
Yeah, but he kind of cooked me. That battle I did not want to do. When it got set up, I was hyped for it, and then just in the weeks leading up, I had some like family, personal stuff going on, and I was not as prepped as I would like to have been. And delivery and stuff. I feel like my first round could have popped if it had been a bit more rehearsed, you know.
And it's quite nice as well that you sort of give each other Christmas presents at the start. Quite sweet.
Yeah. I felt really bad. I'd forgotten because I'd had all this family stuff going on. I'd completely forgotten that we had to do that, and so I literally just had to like rummage through my shelves, finding something that I. Short Sherpa would like, and I know he likes literature, so I was like, fuck it. Yeah, okay, let's go with that.
So you kick off Notorious B.I.G., here to make the injury look a lot worse than amateur wrestling.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, not bad. You talk of the Pete Cashmore tryout. Say tryout, but on Dovelop. What a shame that battle didn't go down at next in line. Cashmore versus Sherpa.
Would have been an amazing battle, man.
It would have been. It's one of those ones. You shouldn't have been in the picture. Got spun like changing the camera settings.
Oh god, I hate that bar, man. Oh,
it is a bit like, I don't know.
It is shite. It's really no good. But this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This wasn't up to a standard that I was happy with.
No, I mean, it is slightly hackneyed in certain points. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And I love the fact that you kind of touch on at the end of your first round how it's slightly different, how you've been to Don't Flop and how he was going to Don't Flop and your allegiances. And Sherpa explains that he didn't leave training days because he was annoyed about Cashmore. He wasn't hurt. He left for the insanely adult reason that it was his father-in-law's birthday.
Yeah, I know. That kind of just knocks any wind that my first round had, which wasn't much, just got knocked out by that.
Yeah, yeah.
He sort of beat me with his first bar, really.
Yeah, and I remember meeting John Whitmore properly at Arse Jack for the first time. So that would have been like in July of 2016, so quite a while before this battle. And he was going through some of his bars with me. And I remember he said, Merkel angles, like German Prime Minister. So it was nice to see this bar sort of come to life. I think Mackenzie said something similar against Bard.
Yeah, he did. I can't remember what he said, but I mean, like, just on that topic, Mackenzie versus Bard is the best title match we've had.
Oh, yeah.
On KOTR by some distance, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, brilliant match. I always say it to you in person. I will say it again on a show. You versus Bard needs to happen.
He's not on it anymore, man. We were meant to the day I battled Craft D, but then obviously he had to do the title match, so I got Craft instead. But he said to me at that event he thinks the time has passed. So it perhaps will be one of those the ones that never was.
But why has the time passed? I don't like, what has changed? Like, I still think it'd be great. You're still great writers, great performers. Why not?
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
Like, I'd really like to do the battle. I think, we could put on a show. But yeah. I don't know. It's really his own reasons.
Sure. Of course. And Sherpa has great stuff for out here. Open you up with the metal door hinge. And I love how occasionally, because I should say the whole battle is like as if you're not wearing your 3D glasses sort of thing. Occasionally, like 3D, kind of what's the word, like crazy, the sort of when you sort of cross your eyes and it kind of has 3 dimensions to it. Occasionally, like this kind of existential art comes up and just sort of covers the battle for a second or something like that. Lack any sense of proportion, like medieval art in your second.
Yeah, I quite like that. I did quite like that.
Yeah, and I think he says something similar about art as well, being flat or something like that. I can't quite remember.
He says something about me being stuck in two states, like Byzantine arts or something like that.
Yes, Byzantine. Yeah. And inevitably, when you start battling, you get into your sort of monstrosity Yunnan mode, where you say ridiculous things that don't really mean anything, but they just sound cool. Sherpa's guilty of this in a second. If I spit a verse, this shit will disperse the Christian church.
Yeah,
that is a powerful verse.
Those Christians are pretty bloody.
They're pretty bloody dedicated. Yeah.
So for your verse to split the Christian church, woo.
Lazy Arse Jack settled for you today like a paid the bar tab. Quite nice from him. Yeah,
it works.
Always rushing down the lines like you played for Spartak.
Yeah.
I mean, Russian is kind of, but
it's been done, but he's made it his own there. Yeah.
It's a good battle. I think more so on his side than yourself. But I mean, I'm just kind of happy for him that he does so well here.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy that he had someone show up and give him a battle. Because he could be so good if he sort of had opponents turn up more regularly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So, yeah, it just doesn't really kind of warrant the reception he's got. But maybe with this and future battles, didn't he get no-showed again though recently?
Yeah, on Saturday.
Oh, that's a shame. But we get to the final battle, which is the first for BattleRapresume, in that we're dissecting a battle that was uploaded on my channel, on the BRR channel, kind of incidentally. So you battled Crafty at the event. Really excited for this battle, going down. I remember you going over material, and I'm a huge fan of Crafty as well, so it's awesome to see you guys clash. Unfortunately, the camera was stolen from the event, so the only battle that kept alive was Canel versus Bard, and there was some footage of this battle which was put on the end of that upload. So I had recently uploaded Soul's Koj round, which he had sent me, and Craft had sent me, sort of messaged me saying, can I send you my round sort of thing, would you upload them on the channel? I reached out to yourself, I put both rounds together, uploaded them on BattleRapresume. It's quite cool actually, when you go on your verse tracker, they've uploaded it on there as another battle.
Have they?
Yeah, they have. Shout out Ryan from Verse Tracker. So if you sort of check, I'm just going to check Crafty's as well. I'm sure it will be the same for it. But yeah, we've got the BattleRapresume logo on the thumbnail. But before we get into the writing, a kind of great shame that it was taken, right?
Yeah, man. Because apart from anything else, it's not just a shame because of my battle, but like Sherpa versus Deafening was a great battle, man. They both, both gave a really sick performance, and Boski versus Bear Solutions as well. That was lost. So, but yeah, especially because I think that I won the first round and he took the second and third. So I'm particularly pissed off that was what was lost.
Yeah, that is a great shame. So we'll get into the writing. Again, it's a little bit weird because I'm just criticising your performances to camera rather than the writing itself, but still pretty good here. You speak about him demanding opponents and then going up against Shovel and Marlowe and kind of getting flattened, which is fairly true, really. And I don't know if you've read the comments. They're really harsh on Crafty in that battle. Like, it's a little bit ridiculous.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to, because he made a video, just angles for anybody coming up to Battlecraft at Frankie Fraser. He made a video which he posted on Viewpoint, reading out all the negative comments made about him.
Right, wow.
And I was just like, I was going to go in on that, and it was one of those things where I just kind of forgot to. I had the idea for the angle and then just forgot to write any punchlines for it. But you can see I started the angle, clearly got distracted.
And bad feedback, like a dodgy amp, wrong sort of pride. Again, another sort of posh territory here. William Wordsworth pen game. I abhor the sort.
I abhor the sword. But, you know what? It's set up for a nice punch. What was it? You either the thing about pride. You either put it in your work or it'll come before you fall. Mm-hmm. I liked the way it was one of those just like little chiasmic twist the phrase. It can be quite powerful.
Yeah, totally. Talk about his lack of charisma, your status, stay systematic. You need to work on your delivery like logistics. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Working with these words so often, usually a eulogy. This one made for the body, like ergonomics. Graph to keep up with the, the learning curve, like quadratic equations.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
A nice way to close the round, I thought.
I mean, I think craft material in this is really good. Like, really like strong, just balanced, and has lots and lots of punches, like funnier than he normally does as well.
Yeah, he knew what he needed to do to get a win on KOTR.
Totally. Lazy Arse, lots of great multis for Lazy Arse Jack. So tall, you've seen everything in the world except a lady's bra strap. He calls you a skating park ramp.
Yeah, I mean, I just sort of see what he's gone for there.
And also, he calls you the giraffe in the room.
Yeah, okay. So there's a funny story about this. I did the worst flip ever off that because he called me a giraffe and then he's like, I wouldn't be surprised to see you eating grass.
Right.
And I just made the point that giraffes eat leaves, but it was literally the flip just, it was literally just me correcting him on that. There was no clever wordplay, there was no sarcasm, there was no nothing. Yeah. Point of fact.
By the way, and Craft's having fun with it, really. You make life-size katana swords look like tiny particles. If this guy was half as tall, he'd be the right size for basketball.
Yeah, they were very nice, yeah.
Your second wasn't bad. Not as many, it wasn't the flurry that I'm necessarily used to, though I do like punches make a connection like a continent, meaning I land masses. That was nice. I was actually originally going to split that at Ill Rollings, but obviously that battle didn't really happen. What was I remember the bar you had for him that was so good. Like, I've had 2 don't flop battles. You've had 2 don't flop careers. So hard.
It was nice, but unfortunately, like the sort of mask replacement battle that I did with Bear Solutions isn't gonna. I don't think it's gonna get dropped. So
is that right?
It's not on the upload schedule, so I'm assuming no. Maybe I can send you those rounds then.
Why not? I mean, just pop them across, man. Happy to make sure that other people can listen to them at least. Lots of good stuff here from Craft as well in the second. Very much the Tool stuff. So Tool, you watch football matches outside the stadium.
I like it. Yeah, that's good.
Stand-up comedy, apparently you did, but what it really means is you stood up and people laughed. He mentions that, I don't know how he knew this, but he mentions that when A went through to the fight for the next round, you immediately left the group chat.
Yeah, I didn't. It's just incorrect, unfortunately. I know what he's thinking of. I know what he's thinking of, but it's unfortunately a case of mistaken identity.
Right, okay. And I mean, like, to be fair, I wouldn't, like, that's just like, okay, it's no longer relevant to me, you know what I mean? I just want to leave, sort of thing. But I mean, regardless, it's an angle that you can do.
Yeah.
You talk about him looking like he was a bit triggered when he had to write for Liv Winter.
Arige loved that. You can hear her like cackling in the background. She is amazing.
That's the thing about Crafty. Like, he seems to just get a bit of flack here and there, but he has some brilliant performances in battles, and I think the Liv Winter one is a clinic. Like,
oh yeah,
he shows out in that one. The Jay Short one as well. His press material's really good as well. But Skeptical, etc. I mean, Crafty's dope. Everyone knows that. And I like Craft's third as well. He does a sort of, KOTR. So it's Mickey's house, and you swept through man's labours like Fantasia.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, really good. So that was the Craft battle. We had the Colton battle recently. What's next for you coming up?
I don't know. Like, it's not been announced, but I've got 2 battles on Don't Flop locked in.
Right.
Two pretty cool battles locked in. To be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I can tell you now.
Well, this will drop mid-May, so this isn't going to drop for quite a while. So
this is going to drop mid-May. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like that's when one of the battles is happening. So.
Oh right, okay.
So yeah, in mid-May I've got Bizzo.
Bizzo, okay, yeah, Bizzo's a good writer.
Yeah, and he's coming back.
Again.
Yeah, and. So I've got some stuff for him. I started thinking, started writing a couple of punchlines here and there, and I think we'll put on a good show, and then next in line 2, I've got JB.
Right, and there's going to be a next in line 2 as well.
Yeah, next in line 2 is coming.
When is that? Is that like similar?
It's going to be around October, I think. They haven't actually confirmed the date, but the only reason I have this battle locked in is because I was meant to battle JB next month. But then there was a change of opponents. There was an opponent that made more sense for him at that event, so they've decided to postpone our battle until next in line 2, which, to be honest, I'm happy about, because it means that whatever incredible headliner they have for next in line 2, I'll be in the room.
Yeah. It's soliloquy versus Briggsy, okay? That's what's going to be. That's what's going to be going down. But you versus JB, that is going to be absolutely terrific, man. I can't wait. Well, this has been great, man. So we'll just wrap up with a few quick fire questions. The first one being your favorite Don't Flop battle.
It's between I've got 2 that I always come back to. One of them is Soul versus Most Prob.
Oh, of course. My God.
What a battle, man.
My God. Incredible battle. She's known for letting her hair down.
Oh, man. Do you remember last time you were around at my flat and I showed you that bar where I was like Shroud of Turin, I'm on that God rap?
Yeah.
I've had to scratch it because later that evening I was like killing some time, and he says, and Soul spits something really, really similar. He says something like, "You're not rap savior, you're just lost in the Shroud of Turin."
Yeah.
So I had to drop it, but they both go in so hard, man.
I think on that God rap's a different take on it. I think because his puns in Shroud of Turin, you're not punning on that, are you?
No. Well, I mean, a God rap,
No, I think it's pretty hard. But okay, so Most Prob Soul's a great choice, and the other,
Tenchu Big Cannon.
No. Oh, shit.
What a battle. Rag and Bone Man.
As well.
Breaking up a fight. I think that every battle needs Rag and Bone Man breaking up a fight. But it's got everything, man. It's got everything. Freestyle, sick punches, amazing jokes, genuine beef, a great projection and performance from all of them. Incredible atmosphere amongst the fans. You know, it couldn't be any better.
What about KOTR?
Oh, my favorite KOTR battle. I mean, like, this is the thing. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like bar for bar, or like my favorite battle that I've like witnessed at KOTR? Because those are two very different things.
Let's do both. Let's do both.
Okay, so by far and away the best battle that's ever happened at KOTR is Tony D versus Dialect.
Right.
Why are we pretending any different? That battle was insane. But Blunt Ted versus JJC4 is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
The editing,
incredible.
Oh my god, yeah, it is. It's a masterpiece, as is Blunt Ted versus CY, but obviously that's on a slightly different league. King of the Dot, favorite King of the Dot battle?
Oh man, oh Jesus Christ. There's, I mean, I love Iron Solomon versus Disaster. That's a great battle. I'll tell you what, Bender versus Ilmac is a sick battle.
Hogtie this Mogwai. Yeah, great.
That's dope shit.
Yeah.
Bender is sick, man.
Yeah, totally. What about, you a URL fan, Lazy?
I've seen 2 URL battles in my life. I kind of struggle with URL a bit, but I do think that I need to get into it because I'm clearly missing out on lots of fantastic writers. But I've seen Loaded Lux versus Calico and Iron Solomon versus Mook. So
Iron Mook is awful as well. It's a shitty battle.
It's a terrible battle, and it's like I really love Iron Solomon, man. Like Iron Solomon versus E Ness is a one-sided body bag, but Iron goes in. And I really rate Iron, but it was annoying to see him in that battle, you know. Yeah.
Okay. So final 2 questions, not battle rap related. The first being your favorite film.
Oh man, okay. That's too big a question, but the film that's sort of been ruminating around my mind for sort of like the past sort of year or so, just like very striking images that I've been struggling to sort of kick out of my head. It's a film called Paris, Texas.
Okay, not heard of that.
Oh, it's a really, really, really good film. Sort of touching, funny, but heartbreaking and deeply and darkly existential as well. I really can't recommend it enough.
Right, I'm just on the Wikipedia. Music by Rai Kuda, who I'm a big fan of, so that's quite cool, actually.
That lovely sort of slide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the sort of twang. Yeah, okay, that sounds interesting.
Harry Dean Stanton in the lead role,
Paris, Texas. Yeah, there we go. Never heard of that. And finally, your favourite musical band or artists that are in no way hip-hop related?
Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Okay.
Luckily, being an English student at Oxford, I get to go to Simon Armitage's poetry lectures. And I went the most recent one I went to was actually his take on Dylan being given the Nobel Prize and basically saying he was undeserving of it. But I personally thought that his argument relied on some pretty arbitrary standards for what poetry should be.
Right. I personally, we'll have to discuss this when we next meet up. I personally think Dylan is massively overrated, but I'm sure we can debate this. He's a poor man, Tom waits, but we can debate this in the future, I'm sure. Lazy, this has been great. Are there any social media to follow you on Twitter, YouTube, anything like that?
You know what? Not really. I think that I will get a Twitter account. I will set one up at some point, but until then, my real name, Jake Solomon. You can add me on Facebook for the time being. That's about it, though. There we go.
All right, man. Well, this has been brilliant as ever. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great.
Thank you very much, man. Always a pleasure. Anytime.